What's up, folks? It's your boy Danny Royce. I'm back. Regina from Chicago. How are you today?
I'm
Regina.
sorry, what did you say?
I'm like, are you there?
Yes,
This interview is getting off to a rocky start.
I'm here. Yes, I am.
Okay,
Hello.
you're
How are
here.
you?
I'm doing
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm doing well. How are you?
I could be better. We could have 4 more years of Obama, but being
Yeah.
that we didn't get there.
I agree. I second that. So, we are talking about the recent current events that happened this past weekend. I would like to start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself and what you're all about, so our viewers can get just a sense of your the background you're coming from.
You don't want to know what I'm all about, do you?
I don't, but they do, I'm sure.
I am an African American woman living in the Chicagoland area. I am 54 years old. I have 4 grown children, 1 grandson. My career was through banking and commodities, but now I'm retired and I am at home. I have a degree in criminal justice, public safety,
Awesome.
and that's kind of about it.
That's you in a nutshell. Okay, great. So very, got a lot of accomplishments on your belt with children as well as in the workforce and educational. What? Give me your perspective, your views on what happened this past weekend with the Women's March around the world, and the support that everyone showed. What is your opinions on it, and do you think that it's going to change anything?
My opinion is basically like anything. If you want to be heard, you got to be seen. So, even back to the civil rights marches, we wouldn't be where we are if it weren't for those that marched before us. As much as we like to think it doesn't matter, I think it really does matter. I don't know to what extent it matters. I don't know what can be accomplished, but you have to be seen. You have to be out there. You have to let people know that you mean business instead of just sitting home and talking a good game. You got to walk it.
I agree.
So, with regard to the Women's March, I mean, there's so much in jeopardy right now. Trump is really saying that he's going to be doing this, that, and the other, and a lot of women are afraid of the changes that are going to take place. I don't think, he doesn't have that much power where he can wipe away their constitutional rights, but I do believe that he can make some changes that will actually hurt a lot of women, especially when it comes to their medical needs and whatnot. I was very pleased to see all the people out there. I mean, you got big stars out there. You got Meryl out there and Whoopi out there. You even had Yoko Ono in her little wheelchair out there. So
I didn't see that.
that was quite impressive. And I think that's what you have to do. I mean, I don't think marches like that in the magnitude, I don't think they should be ignored. I don't think they should be laughed at. I mean, because people actually take it seriously, so they march.
Yeah. That's true. It was great, like I said earlier, to see all of the support, and not just from women. It was men out there, everyone from different races, creeds, backgrounds, everything, showing support. A lot of celebrities as well. Scarlett Johansson, Madonna. The list goes on and on. Um, the message that they were sending. Do you think it was clear enough? Um, I know it was against Donald Trump or and all everything that he said and the everything that's on the line right now. But do you think the message was clear enough uh, to the government? Because that's ultimately who we need to get the message to, the government.
The message is clear only from what we tell them, and what we show them. The message can't be any clearer until 4 years from now when we vote his ass out. Oh, that's when you get real clear.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
and not just Trump, but everybody beneath. Any type of government official that is not for the people, by the people, we can vote them out. And we take that for granted, but it's the truth. Even court appointed officials, except for the Supreme Justice, but eventually they die off too. So it's what we're saying, what they say, and what they march and everything. I mean, it's noticed, but the loudest voice comes when it comes time to vote.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree. And it's crazy. Um, I think that Pence has a lot to do with this as well. I think he's like the little voice in Trump's head, because you see like a lot of things that Trump really didn't care about. Now he's like standing on a certain side, and that side is exactly the side of Pence when it comes to women's rights, abortion, what is it, the morning after pill, birth control, gay rights, all that stuff. It's crazy. So it's like if someone that's running this country can be so easily influenced by anything, that's scary to me. But moving on, if you don't mind me asking, what is your stance? Are you pro-choice or pro-life?
I'm definitely pro-choice
Okay. And why is that?
because the woman has to carry a child for 9 months, and that's her body. The child cannot live outside of the body up to a certain point. So that's between you and your God. If you don't think you can support a child, if you don't think you can raise a child,
Hmm.
and you don't want to carry that child for 9 months and then put it up for adoption, that's your decision. Me myself, I could never do it,
Hmm.
but that's me. That's not you. I'm not going to judge for you, and I don't think anybody has the right to judge for you.
I agree. I 100% agree. Um, so, with that being said, um, what is it like for you? Because I know you were in the corporate world. You said, um, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of things, whether it's racist, sexist, a lot of discriminatory things, whether or not been directed to you but to other people. What was some of your experiences, and have you been discriminated against being a female uh, in the industry?
Not personally. I mean, I've been very blessed where I can, I've been to the point where I just interview for one job and get it.
Hmm.
Um, it's always been in my favor. So I've been blessed like that. And even as my tenure, on a job, it's been pleasant. The people I've always worked with have been pleasant. But I have seen some things.
Hmm.
Um, like when there were women who were working in the office. If someone new came in, they give them hell, you know. and don't let them be Latina. That's they give them big time hell.
Mm,
A white woman, no. A black woman, a minority black woman or a Latina, yeah.
mm,
I noticed that. And, then I'm the first one to run over and become friends with that person because I'm like, why, what the hell? We're all here together. We get paid bi weekly, just like everybody else. What the hell?
yeah.
But they come in and they give them, a rough time. So I've noticed that.
Hmm.
And it's very disturbing.
I agree. Yeah, I've noticed my share of that in the workforce as well. That this whole notion it's a man's world, whatever. Um, but as far as also being a black woman in America, it has a different connotation. As I was talking before with the guest before, um, they have this stereotype of a black woman, what a black woman signifies. Have you ever been caught in that stereotype or associated with it in some way?
That's funny. Uh, well, you know what? Just to be honest with you, not in the workforce,
Hmm.
but in my marriage.
Mm.
Um, in the workforce, I was really considered. If I came to the table with a bright idea, it was appreciative.
Hmm.
You know, um, I never faced. I have faced women who had that neck rolling. You know, you know, girl. That kind of. I have faced women like that. I've never been that way because that's not me. But
Mm.
but in the workforce, I was always appreciated. Appreciated. My boss appreciated me. My coworkers appreciated me. I was never put into a corner where I was expected to be anything less than what I am. In a marriage, that totally was not the, not the case.
And
uh,
elaborate.
yeah, yeah. Well, you got a smart idea. Well, you keep it to yourself
Mm.
because you're a woman and you're not really allowed to have smart ideas, or if you have a smart idea, I'm going to take it and make it my own idea,
Mm.
and therefore you don't get the credit. So,
Mm.
I don't want to say it's a black woman thing, but probably more of a sexist thing.
Yeah.
But you never know though. It's hard to tell.
That's true. Um, about sexual harassment, that's obviously always a big thing, not only in the workplace but everywhere. And this whole thing of catcalling and women dressing in a provocative way, all that. What's your experience? What's your views on that when it comes to being sexually harassed by men or other women?
I think you know from the scriptures, your body is your temple.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a certain way you should carry yourself. I mean, this is just my feeling. But it's not saying that you need to be in a shroud from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
But it also means you don't need to go out there naked. Um, I say just dress appropriately for the appropriate occasion. If there's an occasion where you're supposed to go out half naked, you go into the club, then go to the club. Um, but don't be surprised if somebody,
Mm-hmm.
is ignorant. That doesn't mean it's called for. It doesn't mean that's what you're supposed to receive. It just means they're ignorant. So, you know,
Yeah.
I don't think that dressing really has any significance on how men treat you.
Yeah,
I mean, a man can treat you any kind of way he wants to if he wants to.
that's true. Yeah, it's
You know.
just being aware. Being aware of what you're wearing, and being aware of what men will say. That's key.
Mhm.
So we're gonna get a little raunchy here, um, and a
I'm
little.
down for that. I'm down for that.
I know. And they're gonna get a little controversial. Um, there's this article that popped out. It's pretty popular right now by Vox. It says doubts about inclusive feminism have little to do with the Women's March. They're rooted in history, and it talks about how we're all the same, and has never served women of color. So, and it talks about how white women not necessarily have no business in marching with women of color, but at the same token, they're not. It's not the same because women of color deal with something totally different than white women, even though they are still the minority. It's just a total different view and perspective and treatment over history, of course, the history. What's your opinions on that? Do you think it's more okay? Just forget all that. We all need to just come together as women, or do you think that hey, the women of color really need to step up more so than the white women?
Wow, loaded question.
Right,
Thanks.
right. I told you it's about to get controversial in here.
Okay, kind of like on a different, taking a spin on it,
Hmm.
a little spin. What about the white male who dates the black woman and doesn't want to be seen in public with that black woman, but boy oh boy, behind closed doors, what about that? So that's kind of where it stands. We're not, the black woman is not going to be equal to the white woman. I don't care if we are women.
Hmm.
When it was time for the suffrage movement and it was time for the white woman to get that voting privilege, it was the white woman. It wasn't the black woman involved in that.
Hmm.
Black folks in general could not vote for many, many years after that.
Exactly.
So, we can march with, yeah. I mean, we can march with white women. We can march with any woman of any nationality or whatever, because we're all women. But that doesn't mean we're on equal playing field.
Hmm.
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all. So, I hate to say, okay, we got different issues and you got to stay over there. You shouldn't segregate, no segregation, but just realize that, you can march with us today, but tomorrow we might need to march a little bit more than you did yesterday because we black.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know.
Hmm.
Yeah, we got to take it a little step further because we got a little bit more to accomplish and a little bit more to achieve than the white woman does. So that's how I feel about it.
Okay, all right. I respect that. Um, Totally agree. And so, what do you think about what I mentioned earlier in the show? It's this article that's growing and getting viral. Pornhub reveals the Women's March caused serious drops in porn traffic. So it's this whole, there's this whole stereotype that men are more sexual than women, but this kind of proves the opposite. And I told you things get a little raunchy. So, what are your thoughts about women and sexuality?
Well, let me put on my black, girl. Let me roll my neck a little bit. Definitely.
Yeah.
Women are more sexual, and it lasts longer. I mean, I am 54, and let me tell you, I am ready the road. I'm like, damn. If somebody would just let me, I'm just saying.
That's funny. If somebody would
But
just
yeah,
like,
I'm just finding, like a guy my age or even 60 years old, but be like, wait a minute, and I'm like, I'm miles ahead of you, homie. Just miles ahead.
so it is true, pretty much, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Even on my bad days with my arthritis, it's going on.
That's hilarious. Wow. All right. Well, on that note, no, it's joking. Well, have we're gonna wrap things up here with Regina very shortly, but I want to get your opinion about when reality set in that Trump is our POTUS, that because it was this whole thing of because the electoral college could have voted him out. They could have voted for Hillary. They still had until whatever, I think it was December 19th or something like that. That didn't happen. So when when did it finally hit you, and what were your thoughts, and how do you move forward? Because there's a lot of people out there that are giving up on life or something. Seems like that's like the end all be all for them. So as a woman and a black woman, how did you take this?
Well, bottom line is, above all, he can do no more than the Lord lets him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Lord put him in office. We got to face facts. Even if you're a non-believer in God, he's there. And he's there for a reason. We don't know what that reason is. Mm-hmm. Maybe someday it'll be clear to us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's there. So the only thing that we can do is pray that he will do the right thing. And it's going to be kind of difficult for him because he has a big ego.
Yes.
And he's trying to run the country already like a boardroom, and it's not. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can be a little bit more steadfast because he's got that ego, and he refuses to win, to lose. I'm a winner. I gotta win at everything I do.
Yes.
It's going to be a very tough lesson for him to learn that you cannot win at everything you do, because this is not about you. It's about the United States of America and all of the continents around it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, all we can do is hope for the best. He's got a lesson to learn just like we do. I think this is a great, great big learning lesson for everyone, including him. He's going to learn that, being Donald Trump ain't all that in a bag of chips. He thinks he got it all tied up, but he really doesn't. So I think he has a lot to learn, and so do we. And all we can do is hope for the best and, continue to be on our knees and say, Lord, whatever you got planned, I hope you make it quick in 4 years.
Right. I agree. That's a good way to put it. It is going to be a learning curve. And we've seen, more so than we've seen in the past, Trump's kind of quote unquote dominion over his wife, the First Lady Melania. It's really sad, but you can't really feel too bad for her because she put herself in that situation and she stays in that situation, whether it be for money or whatever. It was funny. I saw a meme online that said it had her and her sad face, and it said, I feel bad for Melania. Poor girl was just trying to get her a sugar daddy, and it turned out to be First Lady. She just trying to go home, watch Netflix.
Right? I just wanted a sugar daddy. I didn't ask for all this.
Yeah, just a sugar daddy and papers. That's all she wanted.
All I want. But his whole character, his whole demeanor is, I'm out front. I am better than you. And when he was getting out of the car to meet with the Obamas, he left her behind. She
He
was in
did.
the dust.
Yep.
And that was just like, really? You're down for that? Of course I'm down for that. I'm married to a billionaire. Of course I'm
Exactly.
down for that. So,
And but you can see how
I
you
feel
can,
sorry for her, but then I don't.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. And you can see how unhappy she is. And and he directs her when she doesn't feel like she doesn't want to talk in public. Obviously, if I was my English was that bad, I would feel kind of I would feel kind of embarrassed public speaking as well. I think she needs to definitely go and practice speech, especially if she tends to be going to these different countries and representing the U.S. And then she doesn't know. She knows like 5 words in English, but he tells her to come out and talk. He like demands. She didn't want to. You can take a look. It's online as a video. I guess it was like a conference or something. She didn't want to talk, and he was like, "Get over here," and it was like in front of everybody. I was like, "Wow, this is crazy."
Oh yeah,
But
I did. I saw that.
you saw that, yeah,
That was,
and this is
yeah.
this is the guy that this is our president. So it's kind of it's scary of what he's capable of doing, but at the same time, like you said, everything's meant to be, and we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna ride this wave, and if it does not, if we do not like this wave that we're riding, get off and do something about it. And that's why I like this march. Was definitely sending a message, but we need to be consistent. We oftentimes do these marches and then we stop and no one hears ever again about the situation. But we need to constantly be on it, and we're not going to see anything. So
absolutely, we do. We have to, because it's the same things that we're fighting for, that we were fighting for in the '60s, are still relevant today. So nothing dies; it just rehashes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. So, wrapping things up here, Regina, last but not least, I want you to please tell the viewers that are listening right now something, especially our female viewers, whatever that you want to leave them with. It's up to you. The floor is yours.
Well, just keep the faith that everything is going to be okay. I mean, things are not going to be the way that we want them to be, but in essence, things are not going to be the way that Trump wants them to be either. It's kind of going to be somebody's going to lose and somebody's going to lose. That's kind of how it goes,
Pretty much, yeah.
So basically that's about it. And sex is great after 50. So hey, shout out to all the women over 50.
There you have it. Sexist.
So, but no, just continue, and fight for your rights. Fight for your rights. Speak up to party. But fight for your rights and speak up. I think a lot of us tend to think that our voices are not heard, but they actually are. And, it doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. So, we wouldn't, as Black Americans, wouldn't be where we are if, people did not, speak up and march and fight and all that stuff, and that kind of goes for any race. There's always somebody in their own race that has fought for their rights. So, the Latinos, they have, the Cesar Chavez's and on and on. There's somebody out there who fights for your rights. So, join up and be one of them.
I agree. I agree.
Don't be silent. These next 4 years are going to be kind of rough, but let it be known that you don't want 8 years. Just let it be known.
Exactly. No, we can. We'll see what happens, but no, I can tell you right now that 8 years is a little too much. A little too much for me.
Yeah, it's going to choke us all.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and taking time out of your day to talk with everyone here on Let's Chat. It's Regina Sanders. Thank you so much from Chicago. And
Hey.
hey, well, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
your president is going to be sending the troops out to Chicago, eh?
Wait, what?
Your president is going to be sending the National Guard out to Chicago.
Oh
if they
yeah, I
don't get it
heard.
Right.
Yeah, I heard if,
Yeah.
if Rahm Emanuel doesn't get it together, that's what I heard.
Well,
Which
see,
I don't.
that's two big egos clashing right
Yeah.
there.
Wow. Yeah, it's a good thing you brought that up because I totally forgot about that. Which I don't know what
Yeah.
good the National Guard would do besides just create more drama and violence. But
Yes.
but
Remember Kent State. Remember Kent
yes,
State.
yes,
So, yeah, those are two egos that just really don't need to be in the same room. So, if Trump does decide to do that, then he's opening up a whole can of big whip ass, big
yeah.
time.
Wow. Yeah, we stay away from the city if that happens. All right. Well,
Okay,
thank you
Danny
so
Boy,
much.
it's been fun.
Yes, as always, thank you so much for joining us. You enjoy the rest of your day.
And you too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.